What's up, fellow movie buffs and film connoisseurs? It's your self-proclaimed cinema shogun here. And for the longest in this investigation, we all wondered, where are all of Brian's friends? Where are all of Brian's associates, co-workers, acquaintances? How come there's no one that knows Brian stepping forward and saying anything? How come we can't really find anyone that Brian was connected to besides his parents? And then finally, after weeks and weeks and weeks of us all wondering this, one of his friends came forward and had an exclusive interview with the Sun. Now, I already made a video about that interview, but in that video, I said that I thought this had the potential to open up the floodgates for more people to start coming forward that knew Brian. Because often in society, it takes someone to speak up for other people to start speaking up as well. A lot of people don't feel comfortable coming forward in sensitive situations like this one and saying anything. They don't have the confidence to do so until they see someone else do it. So I thought that now that we've heard that this one friend spoke up, maybe more friends, more associates, more people who knew Brian would start to say something. And now here we are a few days later, and one of his old co-workers sat down for an exclusive interview with Fox. Let's take a listen to what he had to say. Brian Laundrie had the personality of a chameleon who sometimes lost his temper and always had clean hands, despite working with plants and soil, according to a former co-worker from his native New York. He never came across as the kind of person that would be the killing type. Michael Livingston, who said he worked with Laundrie in parts of 2017 to 2018, told Fox. But he did have that tendency to be, I don't want to say the wrong thing and make him sound worse than he already is. He was kind of a guy who would get pissed off pretty quick. Livingston was a landscaper for Long Island Garden Center, where Laundrie worked the sales counter and did other odd jobs. I remember from back then, he was a big yoga nut, always telling me, I gotta worry about my Zen, Livingston said, and I thought he was this weirdo. At a fundraiser for the newly established Gabby Petito Foundation, Livingston told Fox he'd known Petito briefly from her regular visits to his job to see Laundrie. So he showed up at 89 North in New York on Sunday to pay his respects and support the cause, which Petito's family set up in order to alleviate some of the difficulties they faced for other families. He said he never witnessed Laundrie being mean or abusive to his now deceased former fiancée, but he did appear to be jealous if he spotted her talking to other guys. He would come over and do the boyfriend thing, put his arm around her, give her a kiss, very possessive, he said. He was a good employee who knew how to talk to people. He knew how to make people like him. He knew how to make people happy. And he knew how to make people buy the product that we had, honest. He had the same kind of air you would be taught if you worked at a dealership. Gabby? She was always a sweetheart, very peaceful, Livingston said. She was always really nice to me and she was really outgoing. Once I realized that the person who was missing was somebody I actually knew, it hit me like a tidal wave. He also said Laundrie made money on the side by selling drawings and that he spoke about wanting to tour the country's national parks. I think the only reason why she settled for him is he wanted to travel, Livingston said. So the part that sticks out here to me the most isn't going to be the part that most people are going to be talking about. I know most people are going to be focused on the fact that he said Brian seemed like the jealous type and that he was possessive. And sometimes he would come put his arm around her while other guys were trying to talk to her. Now, I'm not trying to say that's necessarily a good thing. But I don't think a guy being a little jealous over his girlfriend talking to other guys makes him a murderer. The part that really sticks out to me here is the part where he said that Brian had this certain aura about him, almost like a car salesman. And he could convince people of all types of things. And he knew how to talk to people. He knew how to make people like him. He knew how to make people happy. He knew how to make people buy the product that he was selling. And when you go back to that body cam footage, it looks to me like Brian was doing a very good job at making those police buy the product that he was selling. And the product that he was selling that day was a 10-pound bag of bullshit. And the police bought it. They paid top dollar for it. And afterwards, put him up in a nice little hotel room. Wined and dined him a little bit. Because Brian has a way with words. Your average person that doesn't know how to talk, they would have been in jail that day more than likely. And I've said that from the beginning. Everyone likes to dismiss Brian, that he's just this big idiot, and this, that, and the third. And I'm not saying he's the smartest guy on earth, but the guy knows how to talk. And that was obvious to me from the body cam footage. And when I say he knows how to talk, I'm not saying that maybe he's the most articulate person in the world, and he's a scholar, and he knows the biggest words in the dictionary. No. He knows how to make people feel comfortable. He knows how to de-escalate situations in order to favor him, to benefit him. He knows how to throw out little jokes here and there to disarm people. And if you go back to that body cam footage, you can see a couple of jokes that he laid out there. Were they funny jokes? No. But in a tense situation like that, he disarmed them. So when the cops pull this couple over who are supposedly fighting, and they go talk to Gabby, and she's breaking down, crying, sobbing, you could hardly understand what she's trying to say. And then you go talk to Brian, and he's cool, calm, collected, level-headed, throwing out little quips and jokes around with the officers. Who do you think those officers are going to think is the aggressor in the situation? The person who seems super emotional? Or the person who's disarming them with little jokes and talking in circles like Brian did? Even in that body cam footage, Brian lied about having a cell phone. Pulled a cell phone out 10 minutes later, the cops didn't even realize it. Because Brian had them wrapped around his little finger. It was like a day with the bros. It was like a brewski with the brohams when he was talking with the police. Didn't they fist bump? I'm pretty sure there was a fist bump there, right? I don't know about you guys, but I've never gotten pulled over and got a fist bump from the police. I've gotten a ticket. I've gotten a few. But I've never gotten a fist bump. What do you have to say to the police to get a fist bump? I would like to know. And if Brian's ever caught, I want someone to ask him that question. Because I think there's a lot of people in America who would like to get more fist bumps from the police and less trips to jail. And the fact that Brian didn't get a trip to jail that day, Brian got a trip to the nearest motel. Did he even pay for that hotel? I don't know. But it lets you know that what this guy is saying is about Brian, it adds up. It adds up 100%. And that's kind of scary. Because if Brian has this gift with words, or he has just this gift to, like I said, disarm people, or like this guy said, make people like him, make people happy, say the right things. Being able to do that can get you far in life. Being able to do that can get you far while you're on the run. And everything he says about him, how he's a chameleon, and he could morph people into liking him, and he could just morph into whoever he needs to be for you to like him. That's what he means by chameleon. And I know people like that in the world. I've met a few who they don't really know their own identity, or better yet, you don't know their real identity, because they're a chameleon. They shift whoever they're around. They change their personality. They change who they are to fit that person, to fit whoever they're around. Not everyone has the ability to do that. I don't have the ability to do that. I'm 100% me all the time. But Brian could fit in anywhere. He's a chameleon. He's a world-class bullshitter. And he got it from his mama, and he got it from his daddy. And we notice that every day when we see the bullshit they put on display in front of the world. And from the very beginning, I knew exactly what type of person Brian was when I saw this photo. It's this look right here. This look right here, I've seen it before. I've seen it on a few different faces. And the one thing all of those faces had in common is that I couldn't stand the people behind them. I don't know what it is, but I'm sure some of you can agree. Have you seen someone with this look before? You know this look. All of you, you've seen this look. And I can almost guarantee that the person that was giving you this look was not a person that you appreciate. And if they were someone that you appreciate, I can guarantee that after they gave you this look, it was because they just did something that you didn't appreciate. But overall, I think we're going to start seeing a few more people come forward that knew Brian. We live in a monkey see, monkey do society, and we also live in a society where people are afraid to speak for themselves until someone else speaks up first. So we'll just have to wait and see. But I want to know your thoughts and your opinions about all of this down in the comments below. What do you think about what Brian's coworker had to say? I'm interested in hearing your thoughts, so drop them down in the comments below. While you're down there, hit that thumbs up button, hit that subscribe button, ring that notification bell, and as always, find some time out of your day to go watch a movie.